Big Things Coming is proudly brought to you by...
A brand new music venue open in Malaga. Contact us now for bookings.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Big Things Coming. Mel and Geordie, my friends, we're at it again.
I always love that little button. It always just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're here. Yay.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
This is why
What was that?
I like your guitar playing, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio. Anyways, Geordie.
What was that? I just want to know now.
Wasn't it Welcome Back, Cotter?
Welcome back.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. How's it going?
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. Cheap. What's been happening, John?
It's all crapping, bro. All crapping.
Love that.
Big things coming. Colourmind, you know? Yeah. What about Belgravia?
Moving and grooving. Yeah. In the time of frame of where this would be, I'm not exactly sure. But
So things are good.
hopefully. I believe we have a gig in May the 3rd at Indian Ocean Hotel supporting
Oh, yeah, Indie Bar.
Indigo Blaze.
Nice.
Legends, they reached out to us finally because we've been so keen to play a show with those guys because they're fucking rip.
Awesome.
And yeah, just grinded. New music coming soon. Check it out.
Sick.
Yep,
Mel, what's
love
up?
that.
Mel?
Oh, you know, the same.
It's one of those things.
It's just the same thing. But no, I mean,
Album's good.
the album's sitting there, you know, like it's sitting there waiting, calling at me, Mel, you've recorded me, put me out. But it's,
Sleep for now album.
yeah,
Sleep for now album.
and the wonderful thing that I've learned, right, is that I'm actually a very patient person. And in my life, I've been told that I'm not a patient person before, but I really know that I am because we've had this album sitting on ready for a while, and I'm not releasing it until I'm damn well ready.
Yep.
So,
Fucking oath.
yeah, it's
Hell
in the
yeah.
process. We're doing it. It's all happening. But who have we got today? It's not about us. It's
right.
about this wonderful human.
I'm
Indeed.
excited for today's guest.
Come on.
It's time that we get animated.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? The
No.
feeling of moving.
We're going
yeah.
to war.
It's time to go to war.
Okay.
Drop the hammer down. Get your shred out. It's time for the metal man. Solo joint, Mr. Von Spriggan.
How you doing, dude?
Welcome.
Good, thank you
Thank you
for
for
having
joining
me.
us.
Come real close, my friend.
Yeah, come on in.
Hey, right there.
Saturday. No, it's not Sunday.
We got that
Barbarian voice. I'll do the
we'll-
whole thing like this.
I was going to say we're going to get there, but hey, we'll just bring it now.
Straight through the door. Bam.
Damn.
What's
Dude.
been happening, bro?
I'm so stoked to have you here
Thank
because
you.
we were actually just having a chat before the show started and we were talking about the algorithm and stuff. And well, this is one case where the algorithm does work because I came across your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't a follower, I'd never seen it, but it popped up on the Instagram reel.
Cool. It's doing its job.
And I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
what is this? And I was like, okay, you got some like Warhammer animation going. And I could hear the fucking metal going on. Like, I like this. So
Cool.
I actually, when looked at your profile, I was like, this guy's
He
a
stalked
musician.
you, actually, but that's okay. It's another...
Was that, that was
Yeah.
you the other night in the bushes.
That was
Dog
me.
barking,
Oh, with the binoculars too.
Just come say hi, mate. It's all right.
You've got a beautiful guitar.
Play with it all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll play with it. Moving on.
Let's stay in the safe zone, shall we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, obviously, your name's Garth, but
Yeah.
I'm going to refer to you as Von.
Yeah, that's fine.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So, what is your style, man? Like, how did you come about, like, the Warhammer and the metal? Like, and
Cool.
why'd you put it together, you know?
So there's a few things. Like I've always been a fan of like industrial metal,
Right.
you know, White Zombie and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff growing up. White Zombie was the first metal album that I really
Yeah.
got into, and I listened to it on tape until it like disappeared kind of thing.
Yeah.
So having all those like sound effects and stuff, that was kind of where that came from. And then the Warhammer is something I've liked since I was just a little kid. It's always
Yeah.
been in the background. Found White Dwarf magazines and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But as a kid, I could never afford to actually get the figures or anything.
Yeah.
Or do the
'Cause
painting.
there's a lot of painting and stuff.
Yeah,
involved.
yeah. So you can do like, it's basically like really nerdy chess.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's very accurate.
yeah. So as a kid, I could never do that. But I just always would buy the White Dwarf magazines and love the artwork and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so as I'm doing the Von Spriggan stuff, a lot of what I do at night, like once I finish making music and my wife's fallen asleep, I put on sci-fi movies and just watch and listen to music. And we
Yeah.
used to always do this with my mates as well.
Yeah.
We'd get back from the pub and would chuck on, you know, like Avatar and put
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like
yeah.
Meshuggah or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so I've
So
always
what, like you're not actually listening to the audio of the film?
no.
Ah,
So this
okay.
this happened when we heard about Pink Floyd syncing up to what is it?
was it? Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So we were just
Yeah.
kind of like
I know something.
so we would do that all the time, and it's something that I still
Yeah.
do to this day. Like, and I've just always loved it. And then it was like trying to think of imagery that fit my music
Yeah,
and what I'm
yeah.
kind of thinking of. And a lot of times I'll actually have those clips playing. Like I've got like 2 monitors, so I'll have that
Yeah.
playing as I'm doing stuff to make
yeah.
it like hit right. And then it just kind of fell into place, like where it was. Oh, this kind of works really well, and it apparently, like I didn't go out to make like music that worked with sci-fi or worked with
Yeah.
Warhammer, but when it came together, I was like, it's probably 'cause
It-
I've
it's
liked
like bread and butter.
Yeah.
It's just gone together perfectly.
and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
because I've liked it since I was a little kid, I've always been a huge sci-fi nerd, and not just Warhammer, you know, just all kind of sci-fi
Yeah.
culture and gaming. I think it just kind of is ingrown into
Yeah.
whatever I do.
For me, it's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z and metal or Dragon Ball Z and punk. Like, you know, I used to watch a lot of fan-made videos of Linkin Park songs
Yeah, it's cool.
and Dragon Ball Z videos on YouTube.
The AMV.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, like, and that's me right there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And so when I saw your Von Spriggan on Instagram, I was like, this is fucking cool, man. Like, like the best of both worlds, you know?
Yeah.
And it's very creative.
Yeah.
Like, I can see how you're marrying it up with specific shots. You know, like there'll be an explosion, there'll be a breakdown or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's cool.
A lot of time
Yeah.
is spent. Normally on Mondays, I put in like a really long day of editing.
Yeah.
It goes like I'm editing all the time basically, but it's like at least one video a day. And,
So is this what you do full time?
yeah, pretty much. Like I do have a job as well,
Okay.
but
What do you do for the
I'm
job?
a disability support worker.
Oh, beautiful.
You're in my realm
Oh,
of
really
work,
cool.
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I love that. I still do that on the side
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But pretty much any other time is spent making music and hanging out with my wife.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a good life, bro.
yeah, it's
Nice.
it's pretty good. Yeah, it's like
That sounds pretty good to me.
hanging out with my dogs and my wife,
Yeah.
and if I'm not doing that, it's making music. You know.
Mate,
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Cool. Like,
That's
Yeah.
wicked. How long
Yeah.
have you been in this realm of creating music?
Since I didn't start till I was quite late. Like I wasn't allowed instruments when I was at home and stuff. So it was probably was like 25 when I
Oh,
started
wow,
playing
okay.
guitar and
wow.
like, stuff like that. Started playing didgeridoo first, actually.
Oh, wow. Second person
That's
today. Yeah.
second
You
guest
can get
today.
it.
Third person that
Wow,
we've had here
yeah.
plays didgeridoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could just go buy a bit of PVC piping from Bunnings. And it
Right.
was cheap as
my
shit,
little
so,
brother started
yeah.
on the vacuum cleaner, man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I'm being dead set
yeah,
serious.
it works well.
And he was fucking good at it.
And then you
Wow.
turn it on.
I want to see it.
Don't disturb me when I'm cleaning my
Doing
room.
that.
That's the electric didge then. It's like,
That's awesome, right? So,
You might have just come up with a fucking idea.
who
there,
knows?
bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So you were 25 when you first started playing guitar.
I would have been about that, yeah.
So did you just be like, I love metal, or was it, and I'm going to play it, or was it like, I've got like a wide interest in music, and so
when I was in high school, I was a staunch punk, and I
Right.
was like, I was really of the opinion that if humans made real music from the soul, it
Yep.
came out as punk music,
Right.
And like I don't know why I thought this, but any other music was obviously fake and full of shit, and I wouldn't like. And, if you're making music from the soul, it's punk music. That's just what the human soul sounds
is
like.
it because like you thought like,
I like
were
this
you just
guy.
like filled with anger and rage and just had to get
I-
that out in that punk element?
I guess
not
so,
that punk is
like-
anger and rage. I'm not saying that, but you know.
I think part of it was I felt like that more of an identity. It
Yeah.
gave me a little bit of armor in school.
Yeah. I totally get it.
When I remember going to high school for my first time being like so scared, and I was
Yeah.
like, screw it, I'm putting on my NoFX t-shirt and putting out my flag and seeing if there's, and all these like older punk kids like came up and were like, oh, you're cool. And it was
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
first time where I'm like, oh, okay,
Am I?
you're not going to beat the fuck.
family.
Yeah, like
I
maybe.
belong.
Yeah, kind of. So,
Bro, you're like 7 foot tall. You would have been looking down and like, I'm all right.
No, he only grew when he started playing guitar, so 25.
yeah, so but then I moved to a place called Wagga Wagga.
Oh, in
Yep.
Queensland?
Yeah, no,
No,
New South Wales.
Got you.
Yeah. And I had some started hanging out with like older skater guys. Like I was
Yep.
riding and skateboarding and
Yep.
stuff like that. And we would just go back and smoke some weed and listen to music. And like, these are all these older cool guys, and they're listening to James Brown. And I was like, wow. And I was like, man.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
I was expecting that from Geordie. That was.
I was going to do it, but
Yeah. And this is when I was about 17, 18. And I remember like sitting there like really stoned and like listening to James Brown. I'm like, this isn't fake. Like, and then I was like to them, it's like, so this, like, he's real, like, it's real music. Like, he's actually really, and they're like,
That's
yeah,
soul,
dude.
bro.
Yeah, man.
That's
Like,
soul.
and then it just kind of like opened up the door for everything. Obviously, metal came in like with Korn and stuff. I joined some high school bands, and
Now, forgive me, man. I don't mean to interrupt, but you're speaking my language here, and I'm starting to figure out your age, right? So I'm guessing you were born late 80s.
yeah, I know early '80s. So
Early 80s?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
I wasn't
40,
far
yeah.
off. Yeah?
really?
Okay.
yeah,
Whoa,
I
I
know,
was
yeah.
going to guess that. I was going to say early 30s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
See, if you're just immature your whole life, your body doesn't realise it has to age. It's like, we're still kids, right? We don't have to worry about the whole aging thing. Nah, don't worry. It's fine.
I reckon
I just think-
Alex Coombs would agree with that statement.
I think you'd be damn right there. But I don't think that there's any. I hate reference to age in music. I really do. Like, it doesn't belong. Like, if you're creating, you're a creative person.
Yeah.
And that does not have a timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. That's my 2 cents on that.
My biggest fear was like going hard like with the band and stuff. It's like, oh, I've got an expiry date like for my music. If I release it too late, no one's going to care, or I'm going to be classed as too old for it.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to realize there are so many artists that are releasing music in their 50s,
Absolutely.
and 60s, man. So it's like,
And you know as well, like, I think the older you get, the more you play or sing or write, the better you get at your craft, right? So by the time we hit, those older digits, it's kind of like, this is the best shit I've ever written. I'm singing at the best time of my life. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just an absolute improvement from when you were when you're
performance.
19. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I look at myself at 19 and go, oh Lord.
oh man, I still give myself the shivers, to be honest. Like,
And you thought you could sing. Ha!
I didn't have the chickie babes running after me. I had the cops running after me. Sorry, mum.
Yeah, sorry, Mum.
When about did you start releasing music under the Von Spriggan name?
So I'd been making,
Actually, can you talk about how you birthed it?
birthed it.
Yes.
So,
Where did it come from?
Yeah,
and,
cool.
and the release will come for that.
So I became a sound engineer. I worked in live sound for about 20 plus years and made it pretty high up in that industry.
Yeah.
Realized I didn't want to do it when I got my dream job. So Von Spriggan, I'd been making music up until that point. I'd been in a whole bunch of bands that had fortunately fizzled out. Still friends with a lot of those guys, but you know, life happens and they move on.
Was this in Wagga or Perth?
Perth and I live in Mandurah, so it's in Mandurah. And
We won't hold that against
you guys drove up from Mandurah today?
Yeah,
oh,
we're
bless
pretty used
you.
to it.
Jeez.
Yeah. So, Von Spriggan, like I was just making music forever, like, and I wasn't bothering to release it. It was just like for me, and I was like, that's enough. And I show my wife, and I just make 1,000 songs, and they just sit on a laptop, and then I got skin cancer about 4 years ago. I had a pretty bad one on my chest that it's all good, like it's all done now, but it was like one of those things where it was like, oh fuck, I could have died, like, and it was the first thing I thought was like, I don't want to leave my wife here alone, but then after that I was like, dude, like you've got to release music, like this will be a massive regret, and just give it a shot, and then so that was about 4 years ago, and I've been pretty much non-stop since then. Like the first album I wrote, Fuck Perfect, I think I wrote in about 3 months of...
What was it called?
Fuck Perfect.
Okay. I thought I heard that correctly. I just wanted to double check.
That was that title was kind of inspired a little bit by my wife and just sort of people I was hanging around with, like that were getting told they have to be a certain way, or even in music and stuff, coming from sound engineering, it's like it has to be this and it has to be this, and it's like, fuck's sake, I'm sick of this. Like, just be human.
Well, art is meant to be on a perception. It's not meant to be perfect. Like, it's in the eye of the beholder, kind of like beauty, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So that first album was written really fast with like probably an unfounded fear, but a real fear of like, this could be the last music I ever create. Yeah. So make sure it's good. And like, this will be the thing that you leave on the earth. So keep, and it was,
and that's on Spotify?
Yeah.
Fuck Perfect.
Yeah.
By
And
Von Spriggan.
I kind of hate I don't hate it, but you know, like you evolve as a person, and like, you know, production techniques and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so.
How do you go about recording? Like, do you record from home or do you go to a studio?
I've got a little studio at home.
Yeah,
so
nice.
I've got a degree in sound engineering.
Yeah.
So, Yeah,
Came in handy.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and I find I get frustrated with people. Like this is why
They're frustrating.
Yeah, like, and it's not that they're assholes or anything, but I'm just like, I want to go. I'm just like, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
like go, and then they're like, oh, cool, man, I'll get to it in a week, and you're like,
Yes.
and I don't want to be there going like, no, you know,
And
like,
honestly, I totally hear that, and
Yeah.
I'm sure
Me
we
too, man.
all
Me
relate
too.
to that on
Yeah.
a very, very deep level. Like,
Like I was saying, you
Yeah.
know, like I had this, expiry date fear. Like, if I don't do it now, I
Yeah.
can't do it later because no one's going to care. But
yeah.
I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's, you know, with that, like, one of the things that I kind of take inspiration from is Julius Caesar didn't start doing shit until he was 40.
Yes.
And as he had epilepsy too, so he went into Gaul, took over all of Gaul, created like the start of the Roman Empire and stuff, all at 40 with epilepsy. So whenever you feel bad that, like,
and I
things
mean,
that,
like,
time
it's
is
amazing
running
he
out.
made it to that age anyway. They didn't live that long
exactly,
back then, right?
yeah, all the
So-
battles and stuff, and so it's like, yeah, we got time. Like,
Yeah.
I guess, is that where fucking Rome wasn't built in a day comes from? 'Cause
yeah,
that's a legit, like,
yeah.
oh, shit.
Yeah, cool.
Did
I
you
never
do-
thought about that.
Your brain just kind of went,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of those guys were really old, and even like Carl Jung, like the psychologist, he
Yes.
said life actually begins at 40 and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I kind of feel in a way for me it has, and if I was not that I'm like successful with music now, I'm I'm further on than I
your
ever thought.
followers would sort of like
I'm further than I ever thought.
argue
I'd
that
get.
point. I think you're pretty successful, especially on socials.
My
so.
goal was to hit 100 monthly listens on Spotify, and that was the goal. And
Where you at now?
26,000. So,
Like, dude,
Love that
like,
for you, man. Love that.
so it was, it's nice. Like
that's a remarkable achievement, man.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm pretty proud of it. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't take it for granted, and I try and make it like the fans. Like, I try and be worthy of their time. I guess
Yeah.
like so. I don't stop. I don't sort of rest at all.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, well,
Just
we
killing it.
capitalize on this. Like, I'm,
You were saying like you've got a degree like sound engineering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like take on customers as well to record their music?
He's like, nah.
yeah. You know what?
Well,
So, like for the right person, but part of the reason I left sound engineering, like the live stuff, is I just got tired of fixing
Yeah.
people's mistakes, and I got tired of like super. Like, we're doing a Perth Arena show to however many people, and this rapper's the most successful dude in the world, and he's still an unprofessional
Wanker.
wanker.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm so sick of, like, I even went back and did it for a friend who just needed a hand. It's like, I need someone come and do it. And like in this theatre, and the first thing, like, they rocked up late and it was wrong. And I'm just like, I don't miss this at all. And,
Yeah.
and part of like the production stuff, like in studios, I did a fair bit of work not work in studios, but I've been around a lot of studios and stuff. And I did get really frustrated by just people half-assing it and then expecting me to fix it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, why doesn't it sound good? And it's like, because
Because you sound like shit.
you played the whole fucking take at a time, man.
the guitars are out of
You-
tune.
Yeah, like my little pet. Hey, I'm just going to have a little rant here.
Go
But my
on.
little
oh,
pet-
please do.
You're spending all this money in a studio for a drummer to get in there and do it all,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And then he plays out of time, which is fine
Yeah.
because like we fix it, and then we replace like all of the stuff with samples anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So like we haven't got nothing of you on there, and it cost us $2,000. You know what I like? So that kind of stuff would.
Yep.
Yeah, it just got to me after a while.
And it makes you weigh it up as well. It's like, well, should we just record it on an E kit, and then because if we're going to use MIDI drums anyway,
Yeah.
why don't we just do it on an E kit to
Yeah.
start with and quantize the fuck out of it? you
Yeah,
know? Like,
and I have worked with some drummers that are like, I remember, it's a Brown Horn Orchestra. I'll give them a shout out. This is when I'm degree. This guy was like on the click, like just a machine. Did the whole take. One take comes in and goes, no, I missed that. And you're like, oh, okay.
You got to
like,
zoom right in on the wave.
Yeah, you're a millisecond out there. Get your shit together. Like,
How dare you? Jeez.
and then just goes back in, smash it, and I'm like, yes, like that's what it should be. Like,
Yeah.
I want to record your performance. I want to capture you. I don't want to fix mistakes. Like,
Nah, 100%.
And if we're not there yet, let's work on it. Like,
Yeah.
so
That was actually very similar to my drummer, Wanky. He's such a great drummer, man. Like he can play time very, very well to a click. I think it came from like jazz drumming. Or playing,
Or just
at
practicing.
his church and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, like legit, we were recording at Foxhole when we were sharing the room with you guys.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, he zoomed in on Wanky's wave, his stems. He's like, fucking so precise.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was legit gobsmacked. He was
Yeah.
so in time.
That's
But
cool.
I'm very grateful and lucky because I know not everyone can actually achieve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, just sort of like it wasn't artistically fulfilling, I guess.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
And you know,
I
and
get
part
it.
of it as well, like you know, the reason I do the disability work is to get a bit of balance. And you know, when I was doing like part of the reason I left sound is it felt so selfish all the time.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like I'm just here doing my music, and then I'm
Yep.
here helping these artists that don't really
Yeah.
do anything. And yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a different way to kind of give back
Yeah.
and give a bit of balance, I guess. And
And that's
yeah.
beautiful, man.
I was going to ask. Sorry, man. Just cut you
Yeah,
off.
you're right,
Yeah.
bro.
Von Spriggan. Where does that come from?
Okay, so Von Spriggan was actually my gamer tag. Like I started.
Okay, hang on. Xbox, PlayStation,
Xbox.
PC. Yeah, okay.
PC now.
Yeah,
PC now.
yeah.
But so I started streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I got pretty decent at this game called Titanfall 2.
Okay.
And got an okay following
Yeah, yeah.
on that, and had a few people watching me. And the Von Spriggan comes from the Von. It used to be my family name. So on my father's side, there's German heritage.
German, yeah.
And my great grandfather, he escaped from Nazi Germany. He was an
Yep.
artist.
Yeah.
He's got stuff in the Brisbane Museum.
Wow.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
and he escaped from Nazi Germany and
Yeah.
dropped the Von, so it just became Orthman.
Yeah.
And then when I was kind of thinking about a name, he's like, you know what, I kind of want to bring it back, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
proud that he bailed and escaped
Yeah,
from that,
yeah.
and you know what he
Like
did
an
and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of sorry, just thinking like I was just thinking about you as a punk kid, and then with the Von as a punk kid, and wearing. I'm like, oh man, it could have gone so bad for you. Eh?
Back then it was Punk Spriggan.
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
It's Spriggan.
yeah. Spriggan is just an anime that I really like. It's
Right.
called
Oh,
Spriggan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
old 90s anime. And part of the reason I called it Spriggan was in Titanfall, you use a grapple and you're like
Yeah.
super fast and jump around and kind of like Spriggans. And
Yeah,
so it
yeah.
was something, I guess that it's a good analogy for how Von Spriggan music is. It's like something kind of serious at times, but there's also something kind
Yeah.
of fun. And that's like with the music I release, you know, I do the instrumental albums and then I do the serious albums with like the vocals
Yeah.
and stuff. And it's kind of like instrumental album, just silly, kind of caveman ape music, just to like, you know, kill aliens too, and just like, you know, to switch off and kind of have a bit of fun. You know?
So are you doing all your vocals on as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then, the other ones get a bit more personal, and the lyrics are obviously a lot more personal and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
how many like albums or songs have you released on Spotify, man?
Oh, you know what? I've lost count.
Really?
It's,
I'd love to have that problem.
it's what am I
Checking it
now?
out.
Yeah, it's I've done
Geordie's pulling it out now.
two EPs that were like 5 and 7 songs, and then I release a song every month.
Yeah.
And then I've done last year I did 2 albums, and there's another album about to be released. So
Okay. So is it all like online? You're not playing live. It's all
I
like
do play
online.
at the start of last year I played live a bit, and I do play live on Twitch sometimes, but it's
Okay.
something I've kind of stopped. I did a gig with All This Filth and Buried Shallow and stuff. Shout out to those guys, fucking legends.
Yeah, Mark Honey's a good friend of
Yeah,
ours, man.
I like Mark.
How do you play your shows?
So I use a laptop
Yeah.
with like some MIDI controllers,
Backing tracks. Yep.
and then I play guitar and sing, and then sometimes like I've got a thing called a push, which is basically a whole bunch of buttons that trigger off sound effects and
Yeah,
stuff. So I
sick.
can
That's
play
so
guitar
cool.
and then quickly
So it's
like
just you?
chug, 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 yeah, and then like hit the keys and
Do you,
stuff like
do you
that.
get like the animations behind you?
Unfortunately, not yet. So
Okay.
that's one of the things that I've stopped doing the live. Like I actually just got offered a live show, and I turned them down because I'm kind of wanting to revamp it. I'm
Yeah.
not quite
Yep.
happy with how it's presented, and
Uh,
yeah.
The artwork for this they all look amazing.
well, that's actually shout out to my amazing wife who's sitting over there,
No
who's
way.
now going to die. But
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
most of that is her. I think there's another.
Oh, wow.
There's a couple that's There's a couple that are vector images. There's a couple of other, but the majority of it's hers. Like all the recent stuff. So
You're so clever.
Oh man.
It's so
You take your
nice to
flowers,
share
girl.
that,
You
right?
take your
with
flowers,
with your
okay?
significant other
Yeah.
and just be part of that process, you know. Because I was
Purge
going to
looks
actually,
sick.
I was going to ask if you were involved in the music side of things. Not at all musical,
Well,
but
she
artistic
is
though.
because like.
She's being very humble about it.
She is because like there's so many times when I'm making it that I'll ask her opinion, and
Yeah.
I'm like she's not sort of technically minded, which is perfect. She's just
Yeah.
like, and I remember I told her when I was first starting music, you know, like, one day I'm going to test you. I'm going to show you something like shit. If you say it's good, I'm never going to ask your opinion again.
Did you do that?
Not yet.
Is that why you're still together and married?
Yeah, that's it. She knows to appease my ego. No. No, she's always really honest with that kind of stuff, so it's really handy.
Yeah.
And even like, I try write every week, you know,
Yeah.
on a Sunday, or like yesterday I did some writing, and I just don't put any pressure. I just try and have fun and sort of, you know,
Just go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. If it's just making a weird synth noise for the day, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But just remembering why I make music, you know.
And I also
it's
think
for
like
fun.
working in like the disability sector or mental health sector, like to have that release, because it is very, it can be very, it can be a lot. Just to put it mildly, it can be a lot. So just to have that time where you can be creative and just be like, let it all out, you know, whatever way it comes out, it's
You
so
got to
nice.
have your outlet.
You do.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, definitely.
You really do.
Unfortunately, you know, for me, like, and you guys, it's well, not unfortunately, it's music.
Yeah.
No,
Fortunately.
damn straight, fortunately.
I wish it was like, I wish I was like really into shareholders or something, you know, like, or stocks or something that like.
Dude, I started getting into crypto. Don't do it.
Yeah, like, you know, I wish I was passionate about that, like, because that would be like viable.
That's just so damn boring, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
We had
Just
to be
wasn't-
creatives.
Yeah.
100%. Talk to me about your guitars, dude.
All right.
How many
so,
do you have, firstly?
I think 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Three.
what are you
Three.
running? Like, what's your rig? You know, like,
So I always just use plugins. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like neural DSP
yeah,
plugins.
Fortin is really good.
Yeah, I've got the Fortin California one.
Okay.
Or the Cali.
I used, because I recorded an Oracle sound here in Malaga, and it was Fortin Hex Drive.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it's fucking wicked, man.
Yeah, cool.
And I got Peter Renzulo onto that one as well, actually.
Yeah, they're good stuff, hey. Like, I use the Petrucci normally.
Yeah.
Laid in sometimes if it's quad tracked with a Gojira.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I actually recently
Geordie's like,
Geordie's like, this is, I'm just going to tell you, this is what it's like when you guys start talking about gaming. I'm like,
Continue.
yeah. So for any viewers or like anyone listening, a plugin is just like it's a virtual amp. So
Yeah.
it's just like
I know that.
it's a virtual amp on my computer that is absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like
for
they've
$200 compared
they've
to
got so good.
the fucking, like a Soldano amp, which is
Yeah.
like $5,000.
Exactly.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Or $200. Yeah.
Yeah, so my guitar sound now, I'm normally in about drop F, drop G.
Yeah.
I've started playing around
shit.
with drop C a little bit, which is like kind of weird and tinny, but it's actually
yeah.
heavy as well. Like,
Yeah.
But when you've been playing like drop
This
F,
isn't barbaric enough.
yeah, like, hang on, I can hear note definition.
That's how you're supposed to have it.
This isn't sludgy enough. Hang on,
Smudgy enough. Did you say smudgy?
sludgy.
I think
Yeah.
that's smudgy. I'm like, oh, that's not a metal term I've heard before.
Yeah,
Smudgy.
it can get pretty sludgy down.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the,
yeah, definitely
drop F.
can.
You got to be careful.
Well,
yeah.
with your guitars, if you're playing in like drop G, drop F, are you on like a 7-string, 8-string?
Yeah, so I've got. I just bought an 8-string recently, which I was like kind of really stoked because it was the first time I ever got to use like my Spotify money to buy a guitar.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
It was
What
kind
a
of
moment.
It was.
I'm gonna go, great way to spend it, right?
Yeah,
Fucking
Yes.
oath.
Yeah.
Reinvest.
Yeah, and
Wife is like, well.
Well, I did
we
take,
could've gone
I
on
did
a
take her
holiday.
out for dinner as well.
And he says it.
And we went out to a pretty nice place and it kind of splashed out a bit. But
My missus asked
Yeah.
me to take her somewhere expensive. I took her to the servo, mate.
yeah.
Price of fuel at the moment.
Well, yeah, this felt really
That's
weird.
such a dad joke, bro.
Oh, no.
Seriously, come on now.
Sorry. Please continue.
I was going to give that very much. I was like, no.
That should have been the crickets, Geordie.
Yeah.
Yes, do
Nah,
it.
too late now. Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah, so
sorry,
I'm
you're
talking about
saying.
guitar. Yeah, so I've got an 8-string, a 7-string,
Yeah.
and a 6-string, but they
Yeah.
all get tuned down low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only really use the top 3, 4 strings,
Yeah.
like if I'm honest.
Do you have a favourite guitar?
At the moment, it's the 8-string because that's the newest one.
Yeah.
What model?
It's a Jackson something. I don't know.
okay.
It was like a weird. The local shop in Mandurah had it, which was
Yeah.
kind of strange that they'd ever have something like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. Maybe it was ordered in for somebody else and they just went,
Yeah,
oh,
I
hell
think it
no.
was. Yeah, it was like a second-hand thing,
Yeah.
and I was like, it was funny because even when I got that, my wife was like, when I first saw that guitar, I had a feeling that was your guitar, and
Right.
I get these weird feelings about. I had that with my last guitar too.
Yeah.
It's
Cold to me.
Yeah, it did, and this one I
Kind of
actually
like
felt bad.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
You know, like it's your calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this one was more like it was a friend's missus calling out because it was a friend's guitar, and I was like, "Don't look at it." You know, like, It did feel like that. I was like,
I was like, where is he going
Yeah,
with this
no,
in front of his wife?
yeah, no, have some respect for your friend. You know,
It's giving me eyes. What do I do?
Yeah, it's so because I saw it and I was just like, man, I just like that guitar. I don't look at it, you know, like it's
After a couple of wines,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And we got to talking, and it was a mistake. It just happened. Like,
this guy, it's like,
yeah. But
that's so
then
so sludgy.
yeah.
Oh, smudgy.
Well, then he was like, you know what? I don't like this guitar. I think I'm going to sell it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, like I'll buy it now.
What a
Like,
shame.
Yeah.
Come to daddy.
Yeah, you're right. That guitar does suck, man. You should totally get a new one.
Yeah, it looks like a piece of shit.
Coincidence.
Sounds like crap.
Yeah.
Let me take it and burn it for
Yeah,
you.
it was so it's a weird thing. Yeah, you just get this kind of like gut feeling, and I don't know if it's real or not, but I tend to act on it.
It's real.
What was the first song you did with that new guitar?
Oh, that one. Oh, I think it might have been Eritar actually.
Eritar.
Yeah.
Eritar,
So
okay.
yeah, Eritar means like excellence or honor. It's like a Stoic term, and
Right.
it's about doing everything that you do, like do it with honor and excellence.
With pride.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You know? And so I'd just been in a band. Like I've been doing the Von Spriggan stuff, but I've been in this band for like 2 years before that. They were great dudes, and that's
Yeah.
why I hung out for so long. But
Yeah.
in 2 years, we did one song.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I was a little bit
gosh.
frustrated. But
Yeah.
I loved hanging out with the dudes and,
Yeah.
like, you know, still friends with them and stuff, I hope.
Yeah.
Like, on my end.
Music before beers.
Yeah.
Music before beers, not the other way
So,
around. Yeah.
And I'd given them that song, like it was called War Prayer before that. It was based on an old Germanic war prayer that they used to say with like, you know, Mother of Blood, give me strength. Like, you know, Father of, Mother of Fire, like burn all my doubt and hesitation.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gave them that song, and obviously it just didn't happen. And,
Yep.
And so part of it was like, okay, I got the guitar, and I'm going to take this song back, and it's now mine again. And,
Yeah.
you know, like, and
Re-release
yeah,
sort of thing.
and not against those guys, but just for myself, it was like, fuck
Yeah.
this, like you
Fucking
fucking like,
war
yeah,
cry
like,
there, bro.
yeah, like
I
it
felt
was
that,
just
like-
like.
Yeah, holy shit. It scared me a
But
little bit.
it was just like, okay, you like this isn't fucking stopping here. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it was like determination kind of thing.
That is cool, man.
So I find that like a bit of aggression
Yeah.
Can fight depression. quite
Yes.
well.
100%. Get
To a
angry.
degree. To a degree. You know,
If
like-
it's channeled in a healthy way,
Exactly.
right? In a safe and healthy way.
Like, there are bad ways. As I've sit here with like a couple of broken knuckles, there's some really dumb, stupid ways to do that.
Yeah, truly there
Especially when you're a guitarist.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, like Bruce Lee always said, you know, boards don't bounce back.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it, right? Oh, sure.
Tell me, dude, like, what have you got in the pipeline now? You know?
Yeah, so I'm releasing the second instrumental album, which is called Music to Kill Aliens 2.
Oh, wicked. I love it.
I love this. This is like so good.
And yeah, it's got a lot of, like it's kind of, about, you know, humanity sending its greatest warriors to fight aliens. So it's kind
Yeah.
of silly, but, you know, the undertones of it as well. Like,
It's definitely not silly.
well,
That's badass.
so,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sci-fi stuff, you know, there is this tone of like, you know, it's aliens and stuff like that. But underneath it is the tone of like bringing humanity together under
Yeah.
a common enemy and fighting a threat.
Yeah.
And I find that sci-fi can kind of like its extremes kind of expose the extremes of humanity as well.
I can so see like putting this to like some Alien or Predator
Yeah.
fucking animations. you
Yeah,
know, like-
actually, I did one recently with like Alien vs Predator.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I'm a fan, dude. I love this shit.
cool.
Did you
Yeah.
like Romulus?
Yeah, it was better than I didn't like Covenant and stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed it as a separate film, but I think Ridley Scott really needs to get his fucking ass out of his head.
Yeah. I thought Prometheus was fucking sick, man.
Prometheus,
Like,
yeah. I like it.
it
I'm
was
a big
good.
lore person, so it was hard for me because I didn't feel like it fit into my lore that
yeah,
I'd established.
yeah.
But if I watch it as a standalone film, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Prometheus
Yeah.
is amazing. I
yeah.
love it. Yeah.
So yeah, when Romulus came out, I still don't feel like they've done it justice yet.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I
love the visuals.
Romulus was really good, and it was like a definite like step in the right direction. But with Alien and Predator and a few things, like I hold them quite high,
Yeah, of
and I
course.
feel like they should be treated not so much as like
Yeah.
popcorn films,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is fun.
totally.
Like you know,
Totally.
like
Yeah.
you know,
Don't
like,
ever remake them. They're
No,
perfect
yeah,
the way they are.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
know.
it'd be nice if a director came at it with like a little bit more. I don't know, like
Respect.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
say Dune 2 is a good example. Like those new Dune movies,
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
like they literally like gave me hope for filmmaking
Right.
again.
Yeah.
I was like, there are people
Amazing.
doing cool stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's not, and you know, I love like the Marvel movies and stuff, but they're really, I call them like a mind fart movie. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and that's
yeah.
fine. Like most of my
Everyone
time,
needs a bit of a break.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What, we had a quick chat as you were walking up. What do you think of the Halo series?
Again, so this is a tough one.
Yeah.
The actor completely fucked it for himself
Yeah.
by going against the community.
Yep.
So because he kept taking his helmet
Yep.
off and then he doubled down on it,
Yep.
the community went, fuck you.
I didn't even
But-
watch it. He takes his helmet
Yeah,
off?
yeah.
I only just started watching it last night. I think it's great so far, the action
Yeah.
and stuff behind it, but I do know about that side. Like,
Yeah,
you know, Master
so-
Chief never reveals himself.
Yeah, and that's like, and I understand. So in a game, obviously, you project your own personality onto Master Chief, so that's why it's like that.
Yeah,
And you need
yeah.
obviously you need characterization.
Yeah.
I think if you're an actor that gets paid millions of dollars and you can't act through a helmet, you probably should get a different job. Because
I think that's
I think
that's
that
it,
that
in a
person
nutshell.
should look at like a million different voice actors out there
Yeah.
that do it.
Yeah.
That being said, if you shouldn't let nerds like me ruin it for you because it is fun. The action in it, like there's some action sequences, and I've used
Yeah.
them for clips before because they're awesome.
I,
And,
Yeah.
I thought
like,
one of the
yeah.
scenes, because mind you, I only watched like the first episode last night, but one of the scenes, it was like, you know, a point of view through his helmet,
Yeah.
like action scene. And it looked just like on the game, man. I thought that was fucking really
Yeah.
well done.
Have you done stuff with Doom?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like
dude.
that would be perfect for your stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of stay away from Doom a little bit, except for I use the animations by a guy called Sodaz, Sodaz. Check out his stuff; he's amazing.
Yeah.
I emailed him, and he got back to me in like 5 minutes, and I like fangirled, like, "Oh my god!"
Print the email.
Yeah, like, you know, because he's amazing. You know, I was
Yeah,
so surprised
yeah.
that he got back to me, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, it's fine." Like, you know,
So, so you're like licensed. You've got the license to use.
I wouldn't say the
this
license, but
Right.
like so any
Permission.
any like fan made thing, I reach out to them personally
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah.
ask
That's
if
good.
I can use it and stuff
Do you
like that. And
need to tag them in it or anything like
I
that?
normally
or-
try to like
Yeah,
just to.
yeah.
And I keep an eye on the comments as well if anyone's
Yeah.
asking, like,
Yeah.
because I want it to be mutually beneficial. For,
Yeah.
Have you ever
yeah.
had somebody come back and be like, "Nah, don't, I hate it, don't love it, take it down"?
I've had one person like most of the time they're pretty good. Like
Yeah.
I've had one person say, "Oh, look, out of respect to the original musician, we're not going to do that." And I'm
Oh,
like, "Hey,
okay,
that's
okay.
fair.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
it's
fair
your
call.
Okay.
yeah." And like it's you know, part of me is like, "Well, I want to use it." Like, but it's really cool. Like but it's cool. Yeah. Please. Like, yeah.
Johnny, I'm sorry, guys. We could continue talking about this for so long.
Oh, are
but
we
you've got a
over
very
time?
busy day. We're
we
very
are
over
over
time.
Oh wow! Okay.
Look, Garth, Mr. Von Spriggan.
I feel like we need another episode.
Yeah,
like, it has to be like sequel.
we're gonna bring you back for a second
Yeah,
episode.
I'll be keen.
And you know what? I reckon we'll be able to get you up on stage.
Yeah, I
if
think
you're
so. You
keen
have to
as
come
well.
back and play.
Damn.
We'll
Yeah,
set
I
you
can
up
do
with your laptop, your backing tracks, fucking everything, man.
Yeah.
And,
Are we going to smash through these?
yeah, we got 2 more segments, right?
Cool.
We're
All right,
gonna
let's do
smash
it.
them.
Smash through 'em.
First up, it's a segment called "What's on Repeat." All right. So if we were to go into your Spotify, your iTunes, Apple Music, whatever you want to call it.
He's gonna go. Well, obviously my shit.
Besides,
That's why I got paid for it.
It's only me. I've got 26,000 phones.
No, it's on repeat for everybody else.
Von Bot Farm.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's out in Pinjarra. Like,
it's Von Botten.
Von Bot.
No, deny that. Denounce that. We did denounce that.
No, sorry, I interrupted. Go, go, go.
Anyone on your Spotify.
What's on repeat at the moment, dude?
At the moment, Interstellar soundtrack.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
So I listen like it probably Interstellar soundtrack.
That is
Este
epic.
Tone, which is like a Spanish guitarist guy.
Yeah.
Wardruna,
Yeah.
which is like Viking music. I'm actually going to Rome and seeing them in Pompeii in August.
Have you heard of
Can't wait.
Hila?
Yeah.
This is-
Yeah, I love that stuff. So
I was
yeah.
in Pompeii last year.
Oh, were you?
I was. I did the
Wow.
whole Italy thing.
Yeah, cool.
Damn.
Next
Yeah.
level, like to see
Yeah.
to actually like see an amazing show there because they've got the amphitheater and stuff.
Yeah,
It's like
can't
all the
wait.
history and the culture. Oh my freaking god!
Yeah,
I almost
Yeah,
lost
so
my shit.
pretty much, yeah. Like that's been on repeat. Like I've
Yep.
listened to a lot of really ambient chill stuff, like
Yep.
Hans Zimmer, the Blade Runner soundtrack.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Quite
to-
opposite to what you play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because I like pretty much every day I do make some kind of music or do something.
Yeah.
So after like blasting yourself for like 12 hours, I need
Yeah,
something
you
a bit
need
more
some
chill.
chill.
And,
Decompress.
Yeah, and I do kind of like to bring that vibe into my own music because there's like a lot of pads and stuff behind it.
Yeah.
There is elements of those things behind it that are kind of infused into it. So,
Hell yeah.
and other than that, like metal bands, I've been listening to After the Burial, which I hadn't really heard before.
Okay.
After the burial, I can't say I've heard.
Yeah, I just popped up on my thing and I clicked it and I
Yeah.
was like at the gym and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Another example where the
Let's go.
algorithm works for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know, like there are times where the algorithm works. It's not always broken.
Yeah.
Last time, before we go, dude,
Yeah.
we've got this section called Called Out, right? So you need to think of someone that you would like to get on the show.
I'd say Brendan from All This Filth.
Brennan from All This Filth. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Brendan
we'll
from All
get
This Filth,
Brennan
yeah.
from All This Filth. And if you like what you've seen today, please go and check out Von Spriggan on
Yes, do
Spotify,
it.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, man. I'm not joking, guys. This stuff is fucking cool.
Yeah.
There's
it's next
lots
level.
of film clips coming, actually. I've been editing
Fantastic.
a lot. So there's lots
Mate,
of stuff coming. Yeah.
I can't believe it. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I commented on it, said, I really like it. And you're nice enough to actually comment back.
I
And,
tried.
and then he started fangirling like somehow.
I did. And then I realised, holy shit, you're from Perth.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, do you want to jump on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're buds now.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
thank you
that's
so
it.
much for coming
No,
on and
thank you.
sharing some of your
So
story.
go and check it out. Von Spriggan, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and
Every
Spotify.
consumable.
And if
Yeah.
you liked this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share it with your mates. We're just trying to do the right thing for the music community.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Von.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
See you next
Yeah.
time,
See
guys.
you. Bye.
Hi everyone, this is Jardel from Big Things Coming, and we are looking for more guests for our show. So if you're into music, dance, the arts, photography, videography, anything in between, any genres, feel free to send us a message and we'll get you on our show.